This is Healing with Haley, episode 5, The Fear of Falling. Is it possible that you are the cause of your own suffering? Are you thinking thoughts that are preventing you from getting your life to the next level? My name is Haley Kirk, and I'm a life coach, mom, entrepreneur, and fierce friend here to show you how to be the hero of your story. What is up, you guys? New episode, new evening. I always record at night, so I'm a night podcaster. Ooh. I want to have one of those sultry, like smoker voices. But you guys, I do customer service in my day job, and you won't believe the quantity of people I get that are like, oh, I love your voice. It sounds so beautiful. Like they're being like flirtatious with the sound of my voice. And I'm like, this just feels weird. Please stop. Anyways, back to today's podcast. I've never thought of this aspect of climbing or going towards your goals until I've been seriously doing it for about 2-ish years, really pursuing hard my goals in other aspects besides, finance and education, in my college years, early 20s. And this thought came to me actually at the gym because after having Israel, I lost all my booty. I had this yummy Latina booty that I didn't even work hard for. And I've just always kind of naturally been athletic because I'm a very active person. And I just stopped going I didn't stop going to the gym, but I, definitely didn't have as much energy, definitely didn't work out as nearly as much as I was before pregnancy. And so I lost all of it, guys. And when I'm saying I lost all of it, I was like, weird. Like my pants were fitting weird. Like I was like, where is my butt? Like I don't see it. So my partner, he is a fitness trainer, and he showed me like 3 exercises. He's like glute squats. It's the thrusts, glute thrusts, and then this pendulum lunge machine, and then this hamstring machine. And so I do those 3 exercises and just increase the weight a little bit as much as I can. And guys, the results are amazing. It's interesting how simple it is. So I just constantly kind of push the weight a little bit or the reps, and it gets a little scary because here's the thought that came to my mind. It was, I have to show up as this version of me that I really want to be most of the time. Most of the time, I really want to be this version of Haley that's like, yeah, bust the walls. Like, let's go. Like, I want to accomplish this. I want to do this. I want to just go crazy. Right. And I would say it's like 80%, 85% of me just wants to be that version. And then there's those days where I'm a little exhausted being that person. And this happened to me this week, I believe, or last week, where I would wake up and I was just like, I would do my normal stuff, right? Like I have these habits now. I wake up to the sound of Israel. I get him a bottle. I change his diaper. And then I like go back to sleep a little bit. And then I got a little shame about that. Work on that later. And then I make my bed, do my meditation. And for some reason, even though I was doing my things, I was not wanting to get out of the house. I was like, I don't want to go to the gym. And normally I can push through that. I was like, oh, well, it's okay. You don't want to go. We're going, right? Because that's what we do. Like that's the habit. We leave the house around like 8:00. And it's so interesting how much pushback I got last week or this week. I'm not sure the timing, but I got a lot of pushback from the ego, right? And ego is really strong this time around. And it was really interesting that kind of being in that headspace of, I don't want to be that version of high achieving Haley. I just want to be normal. Like I don't want to do any high achieving things right now. I just really want to be mediocre, I guess, is the kind of the judgment I had towards it. And I thought that was so interesting. And then it got me thinking, oh my gosh, when you climb, if you've ever had like a rock wall or a climbing gym and you're rock climbing and you're having fun with your friends and you're saying all the like rock climbing jargon. And then there's a point where you're getting really close to the top and you look down and then your heart beats. And then there's this rush to the brain, like, whoa, okay, now I'm kind of scared. And you kind of like, you have to kind of like play it off cool, right? Because you don't want to look like scared in front of your friends or weak in front of your friends. That's my fear. I want to be respected. I want to be adored. I don't mind necessarily being scared, but I definitely want to appear strong and intelligent with my friends. I have that desire. So I just think it's so interesting because the higher we climb, the higher we fall at the same time. Think about that. The higher we climb, the higher the fall. And I was thinking about that at the gym because I was like, man, I can go hard, meaning I can put on a lot of weight. I'm really strong and I know I could push myself, but I'm afraid, one, of the person I have to be to do that, the mind I have to have. It takes a lot of energy, right? And I could digress into that all in itself because human nature, just the natural human, is ridden and possessed by the ego, right? Ego is let's do nothing, let's conserve energy, let's be safe, right? And the real us is like, no, this is the human experience, right? Let's push it. Let's see, let's explore, right? And so then the higher you go, the harder you fall. And there's parts of me that really is afraid of falling. It's embarrassing to fail hard, right? You look at the stars, Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, they accomplish these high goals of national, worldwide fame and money and talent. And then they fall to drugs, to lawsuits, I don't know, all the things, right? And it's just like, it's really embarrassing. And I was like, wow, like, I'm almost afraid to post anything about my fitness journey because I'm like, wow, so if I like hurt my leg or like I can't reach a certain weight to lift or if I start getting like really fat, I was really afraid of that commitment to that person I wanted to be because I was like, well, what about the fall? Well, what about if it doesn't work out? Right? So interesting where my mind was going with this. And then I watched Toy Story. So I'm going to the gym, right? And they were playing Toy Story and my son's daycare at the gym. And I was like, it was right at the part where Buzz Lightyear is now Andy's favorite toy, or at least the toy he gives the most attention to because of his drawings, because of his new bedspread. And Woody, he starts saying, what? It's a plastic. It's just a big, cheap piece of plastic. That's not a real laser. He just starts judging Buzz Lightyear and putting him down so that Woody can be leader again. And honestly, leadership in itself is very vulnerable because you can fall. As a leader, you can fall. People can love you one minute and then hate you the next. They can praise you and then judge you. Being a leader requires such a stillness and a quiet strength inside. You have to be strong in the good and the bad. And so if you think about the story of Woody, right, in Toy Story, so he's the leader, everyone looks up to him, and then Buzz comes into the picture. And then he gets thrown into the chest where all the regular toys are. He's no longer on Andy's bed. That's where Buzz is. So he's been replaced. What does something like that do to someone's self-esteem? Even if you're at that high level of leadership or success or accomplishment, someone could take your place. Someone might have more skills than you. There's someone that could always be more skilled or in our egoic mind better than us, right? There's like this hierarchy, right? That we like to believe in. We like to say, oh, I'm better than that person. Oh, but they're better than me. So this is a mental position that is the ego, right? You never lose your worth, no matter what. You could literally lay in bed all day and you haven't lost your worth. And there's this obsession with accomplishment and productivity when that could be the hindrance of being. And so, continuing on with the story of Toy Story, so it ends up that Buzz and Woody they get lost, right? And so Woody, he has to do this self-discovery, right? Like he can still be Woody with Buzz, and there doesn't have to be either or. It can be both. And I think that's such a wealthy mindset, a healthy mindset, that you could be both. A lot of times people think, I have to be, and I'll give you examples of why this is limiting. A lot of times people think, I either have to choose to be a mother or a business person. A really successful and wealthy person says, why can't I be both? I can do both. I either have to be spiritual or wealthy. I can't be both. I can be wealthy and spiritual. And lots of people think that it has to be either or, this black and white thinking, either all the way or none at all. So I really like to approach this even with my eating, right? So like I can still enjoy really yummy, sugary, delicious things and be healthy. There's this duality that exists. So I leave this with you guys. Consider your fears of falling, right? Is it preventing you from accomplishing your goals? Is it preventing you from climbing the heights? And allow the fear to be there. Allow fear to be there because, and I heard this the other day, and I had to strongly disagree with it. Someone said that fear doesn't exist. Fear is just a misunderstanding. If that were true, I'm going to take an extreme case scenario. So let's say your loved one passes away and you're about to pass away and you're afraid. I don't think that is the lack of understanding. I think fear is a natural, it's an organic, it's a given part of the human experience. Fear keeps us alive. Fear is what keeps us as humans kicking, right? And so if fear is part of the human experience, you can't get rid of it. And I think a lot of times, even men, I think, don't like to validate that emotions exist. They like to logically talk away emotions. So I think I don't think that's a healthy approach to the human experience, is to just pretend they don't exist. They do exist, and we just need to allow them to be there instead of suppressing or ignoring emotions. So when it comes to fear, allow it to be there and move forward with processing the emotion. Okay, I'm going to allow fear to be here, and I'm still going to do what I need to do, right? Like, we're going to be afraid today. Let's do fear, and let's still get our stuff done. I'm really insecure right now. Okay, let's be insecure and do this anyway, right? It's okay to be insecure. It's okay to be afraid. So I wrap up this podcast in saying, what are some ways that you are letting the fear of falling preventing you from accomplishing your goal? And why not you? Why not now? And why do you want to accomplish the goal? Those are 3 of my new favorite questions. And I will chat with you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye.